Welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Kendra Cook. Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV with support from the Southwest TV Translator Association. If you have a news topic or event that you would like to see covered, give us a call. The studio number is 970-677-4119. Today's show runs Wednesday at noon, 3 and 6 p.m. and again is re-aired later throughout the weekend with the other weekday broadcast replays. Today is May 9th, 2018, and now the news at noon. Reported in the Journal, photo courtesy Christy Pauley. The Montezuma County Sheriff's Office is investigating a series of fires suspected to be caused by arson, and it's seeking the public's help. Deputies responded to 5 small fires in the county from April 27th to May 4th that appear to have been set intentionally. That according to Sheriff Steve Nowlin. On May 4th, he sent out a news release asking Montezuma County residents to contact the Sheriff's Office with any information that could aid in the investigation. As of Tuesday, Nowlin said investigators had no suspects. The April 27th fire burned about 800 square feet of brush near the 14,000 block of County Road 33 before the Dolores Fire Department extinguished the flames. Deputies who responded to the scene initially suspected the fire had been caused by a lit cigarette or other flammable material being thrown from a passing vehicle, according to the incident report. On April 29th, deputies responded to 3 small fires, one in the 12,000 block of County Road 33, one near the intersection of County Road S and 36, and one near the intersection of Colorado Highway 184 and County Road 32. The May 4th fire occurred in the 32,000 block of Colorado Highway 184, east of County Road S. Nowlin said most of these fires burned well away from any nearby roads, and no clear ignition source was found. Mike Zion, chief of the Dolores Fire Department, said that's a red flag for fire investigators. If somebody flicks a cigarette on the ground or something like that and causes a fire, the cigarette's still there, he said. There was nothing like that here. He said the physical evidence combined with witness statements from the last fire led investigators to believe arson was involved, and he believes the fires were likely connected since they all occurred within a small area. Zion said all the fires were put out before they could spread more than a few hundred square feet, and none resulted in property damage or injuries. In the news release, the sheriff asked county residents to keep an eye out for any suspicious people or vehicles on county and U.S. Forest Service roads, and to call 911 or the sheriff's office with information related to the fires. No other suspicious fires were reported over the weekend, which Nowlin said is a good sign. Hopefully getting the information out there got the person or persons involved, he said. Nowlin said the sheriff's office will work with the Forest Service fire prevention personnel and an arson canine program in the investigation. Another suspicious fire, which destroyed a garage in Mancos on April 20th, also remains under investigation. Nowlin said his department has yet to determine its cause. Although storms on Wednesday and Thursday brought some moisture to the county, Zion said fire danger is still high and a countywide bird ban is still in effect. Anyone with information about last week's brush fires may call 911 or contact the Cortez Communications Center at 970-565-8441. From the Journal, more suicide prevention funding could be available to school districts across the state if a bill pending in the Colorado Senate is approved. State Representative Barbara McLaughlin, Durango Democrat, Senator Don Coram, Republican from Montrose, and 2 other lawmakers are sponsoring HB 181416, which would create a new grant program to support suicide prevention programs. The measure was approved by the House in late April and will next be considered by the Senate Appropriations Committee. La Plata County has one of the highest rates of teen suicide in the state, and several local groups are working on prevention efforts, including Durango School District 9R, San Juan Basin Public Health, and Communities Overcoming Depressed Youth, also known as the CODY Project, or CODY. Health Department spokeswoman Claire Nindel said additional state funding for suicide prevention would be welcome. Kids spend most of their waking time in school, and it's important that schools have the resources to support positive social emotional development, she said. The bill would set aside over $500,000 for the grant program in the 2018-2019 fiscal year. Funding could come from the $35 million the state has already set aside to fund school safety initiatives, McLaughlin said. We see this as part of a school safety program to address suicidal tendencies and mental health issues, she said. She expects the bill will pass this session because it has received bipartisan backing. If it passed, school districts could apply for grants between $5,000 and $10,000 for suicide prevention training, the draft bill states. School districts would be required to train all staff who have contact with students on how to identify whether students or adults are at risk of suicide and how to refer them to appropriate treatment, the bill states. The bill would also provide funding for students to learn resiliency, self-awareness, and problem-solving skills. What we're advocating is that kids would be given life skills training that would help them deal with things like peer pressure, bullying, sexting, said Susan Marin, advocacy chair with the Suicide Prevention Coalition of Colorado. She supports the measure and would especially like to see more suicide prevention funding made available to rural schools, because children who grow up in rural areas are twice as likely to die by suicide than their urban and suburban peers, she said. From the Durango Herald, the outlook for the most important river in the Southwest remains grim this summer after April storms failed to produce much snow in the mountains that feed the waterway, forecasters said Monday, photos AP. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration said the Colorado River is expected to carry only 43% of the average amount of water into Lake Powell, one of two huge reservoirs that store and distribute the river. It's the fifth lowest forecast in 54 years. It's pretty dramatic. It's a very low runoff season, said Greg Smith, a hydrologist with the agency. But officials have said that Lake Powell and its companion, Lake Mead, will be high enough to avoid mandatory cutbacks for water users this year. The Colorado River serves about 40 million people and 6,300 square miles of farmland in the United States and Mexico. Arizona, California, Colorado, Nevada, New Mexico, Wyoming, and Utah all use the river or its tributaries, along with 20 Native American reservations. The river is under increasing stress because of rising demand and declining flows. The region has been in a drought for 18 years, long enough that some researchers say it may represent a permanent shift. Global warming is also contributing to the reduced river flows, some scientists say. Last year's snowfall was uneven, but mostly below average across the mountains that feed the Colorado. The western Wyoming mountains that give rise to the Green River, the Colorado's largest tributary, received 116% of their average snow at the peak of the winter season, Smith said. But river valleys in southwest Colorado ranged from 44 to 56% of average at their best. Southwest Colorado had their lowest precipitation on record, Smith said. One significant storm hit the Colorado River region in April, but snow fell only at the highest elevation, Smith said. Lower regions got mostly rain, and unlike snow, rain runs off immediately and can't be easily captured in reservoirs for later use. Water levels in some mountain rivers will peak in the next week or so as the snow melts, Smith said. And that's earlier than usual, but mostly within the normal range, she said. And now, let's take a look at what's in store with our weather. On the national weather map, that section of rain and thunderstorms remains over the Central Plains and is pushing through the Midwest, across the Great Lakes region, and down through the Rust Belt. That yellow section shows some severe weather forecast over Illinois and Indiana. Behind that low pressure system sits our high pressure, bringing dry and warmer than usual temperatures across the southwest and west coast, bringing in strong southern winds. The spring storms affecting the Pacific Northwest may still bring some snow to the rain mix, and a disturbance well west of the Mexican Pacific coast may become a tropical depression today. This would be the first tropical depression or storm of the 2018 hurricane season. Oddly enough, this may occur exactly 1 year after a record early eastern Pacific tropical storm. However, this disturbance will be no threat to land. Regionally, isolated showers and thunderstorms are expected this afternoon and evening over the mountains north of Interstate 70 in Colorado. Gusty outflow winds to 35 miles an hour will be the primary concern with this activity. There is a slight chance of afternoon showers and thunderstorms over the mountains each afternoon and evening Thursday, mainly north of Interstate 70, while chances increase Friday through Monday. Critical fire weather conditions will also be in place Thursday afternoon and evening, with red flag warnings now in effect for portions of southwest Colorado. Similar conditions may occur on Friday. Dolores County sent out their alert that a fire weather watch to be in effect Thursday noon through 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. for portions of western Colorado for wind, low relative humidity, and dry fuels. Winds will increase out of the southwest ahead of an approaching front with dry conditions present. The combination of gusty winds, low relative humidity, and dry fuels will result in the potential for critical fire weather conditions and thus the red flag warning. So be careful out there. A small fire could get out of control quickly. These windy, dry conditions are also difficult for those with challenged respiratory concerns. Our local DCTV 5-day outlook shows that folks were going to be windy until we catch a break on Sunday, so hold on to your hats. Today, mostly sunny with a high near 83, hot. East-southeast winds 5 to 15 miles an hour, becoming southwest in the afternoon. Tonight, mostly clear with a low just around 51 degrees. Southwest winds 5 to 10 miles an hour, becoming southeast after midnight. Then Thursday, sunny with a high near 83, breezy with a south-southeast wind starting 10 to 15 miles an hour, becoming southwest 15 to 20 miles an hour in the afternoon when the red flag warning occurs, and winds could gust as high as 30. Thursday night, partly cloudy with a low around 50 degrees, breezy with southwest winds continuing 10 to 20 miles an hour. Then Friday, mostly sunny with a high a little cooler at near 78 degrees, windy with a south-southwest wind 10 to 20 miles an hour, increasing 20 to 30 miles an hour in the afternoon, and wind gusts on Friday could go as high as 40 miles an hour. They're predicting Friday night mostly cloudy with a low around 48 and still breezy. Saturday mostly sunny with a high near 72. Breezy continues with Saturday night partly cloudy and a low around 45 and still breezy. And then Sunday mostly sunny with a high near 72. Sunday night partly cloudy with a low around 43, a little breezy. And Monday mostly sunny with a high near 70. Monday night mostly clear with a low around 42. And now let's get back to the news. From Euro Weekly News, Photo Credit, Shutterstock, IGN, and Weather.com. You may have seen the photos like this one of what's happening in Hawaii and think it's so far away it won't affect you. Volcanoes and earthquakes affect everyone as we share the same Earth space. More than 270 earthquakes have been recorded in just 10 days near Spain's Canary Islands, raising fears of a volcanic eruption. The quakes have struck near Tenerife and Gran Canaria in the Canary Islands, where there is a huge submarine fault between the two islands. That's off the coast of Africa on the northwest side. Spain's National Geographic Institute said the biggest recent quake reached a magnitude of 3.2 on the Richter scale at only about 35 kilometers from Puerto La Luz in Gran Canaria. A report said the fault line has not been active in recent times, but it added, what if it started spewing magma again? And what if it was reactivating the Teide volcano that would be cataclysmic? The Mount Teide volcano on Tenerife sits nearby. The national park draws 3 million visitors yearly, and the volcano's 3,718-meter or 12,198-foot summit is the highest point in Spain and the highest point above sea level in the islands of the Atlantic. The last eruption was on November 18, 1909. The government has been urged to step in amid calls for an urgent meeting to discuss why the quakes are happening again. But Emilio Carreño from Spain's National Geographic Institute said the majority of earthquakes registered in the past few days have been of tectonic origin and are not usually associated with volcanology. Carreño pointed out that all earthquakes are reviewed, especially those in the Canary Islands, because, quote, the situation of the islands makes precision in locating the source more difficult. He added, right now in the peninsula, there are quite a few places where these series of quakes are being recorded. It's common during any single month to register between 100 and 600 earthquakes in areas like Jodar or in Jaén, which can experience between 400 and 500. The significance of the potential eruptions on the Canaries is the potential for a subsequent tsunami from the shelf breaking down into the Atlantic and causing devastation across our eastern seaboard. And that same type of tsunami effect could possibly happen on the west coast from the activities occurring in the Hawaiian Islands. But not to fearmonger, it's just something to ponder when we only see photos and read about the shakings going on around the world. We really are a small world after all. And speaking of small worlds, some viewers had asked what's happening with our neighbors to the northwest at the south end of Moab, which is technically in San Juan County. The San Juan Record had a good report on the current status of what is called Spanish Valley. It's not just a rumor, and it may well become the largest city in San Juan County in not too long. They recently reported that within 10 years, Spanish Valley may become the largest community in San Juan County, according to a Spanish Valley area plan recently approved by the San Juan County Commission. The plan is set to guide future development in the San Juan County portion of Spanish Valley. The area is just south of the Grand County line, adjacent to the booming Moab area. The plan projects that as many as 3,500 households could call Spanish Valley home within the next 10 years, with a population of 8,770 residents. The current population of San Juan County portion of Spanish Valley is estimated to be just 500. If the growth occurs, the population in San Juan County would grow by more than 57% over the 10-year period in Spanish Valley alone. The document was prepared by the Landmark Design Team under the direction of an advisory committee and the San Juan County Planning Commission. The plan was developed through a series of public hearings, interviews, and area residents with consultation with other entities as well. The County Commission approved the plan with a unanimous vote back on April 17th. The plan will guide future development in the San Juan County portion of Spanish Valley. The area has seen some growth in recent years, but the report states that a lack of a culinary water and sewer system, minimalistic zoning and development control, and the lack of planning and development review has constrained growth. However, the report adds the Spanish Valley area is receiving increased growth pressure. Planning and the establishment of better infrastructure for the area is now a top priority for the county. 2 infrastructure development projects are currently under design, including a standalone water system and a combined sewer system with Grand Water and Sewer and Moab City. The northern portions of the valley are privately owned, while major sections in the southern portion of the valley are controlled by the state, the SITLA program, and federal government BLM lands. Key uses envisioned for the valley include large residential areas, community and neighborhood centers, parks, recreation areas, open spaces, and trails. While the plan predicts significant growth in the area, it adds that the exact time frame for implementation is unclear. It is anticipated that full realization of the plan will take several decades. From Colorado politics, a measure allowing Colorado marijuana stores to open on-site tasting rooms where customers can sample some of their wares has passed the state legislature, and it's on its way to Governor John Hickenlooper's desk. It's all, quote, for the purposes of consumer education, the measure says. Marijuana Business Daily reports says House Bill 1258 is believed to be one of the first of its kind in the nation, if not the first, although a handful of other states where pot sales have been legalized are considering it. As the HB 1258 summary says, the bill authorizes each licensed medical marijuana center or retail marijuana store to establish one retail marijuana accessory consumption establishment that may sell marijuana, marijuana concentrate, and marijuana-infused products for consumption other than smoking at the establishment. Customers could consume cannabis-infused products and concentrates purchased from the retailer in a tasting room, but would not be allowed to smoke. The House approved the final version of HB 1258 with a vote 40 to 25 following a 22 to 12 approval vote in the Senate. The measure's sponsors were Representatives Jonathan Singer and Jovan Melton and Senators Tim Neville and Stephen Fenberg. And now for the Dolores County Sheriff's Roundup for the week of April 30th through May 6th. Deputies had a request for a welfare check in the county and all was okay. The Dove Creek Fire Department, Dolores County Sheriff's Office, and Dove Creek ambulance personnel responded to a motorhome fire at the High Country Elevator. The motorhome was fully involved upon arrival and was a total loss. A town resident reported a theft. And that concludes today's roundup. Stay tuned for future continued updates. And today's High Canyon Country happenings. This Thursday, May 10th, and every Thursday through mid-October, it's the Thursdays Group Ride MTB, hosted by Rome Industry in Monticello. It runs from 6 to 7 p.m. at Monticello Meet at 265 North Main Street. For more details, give them a call at 435-590-2741. And in Cortez on Saturday, May 12th, from 8 a.m. to 2 p.m. at 340 East Montezuma Avenue, it's Words and Music, a community garden fundraiser. Stop by on Saturday for books, vinyls, and CDs. Select what you like and make a donation. Turn words and music into soil and seeds. Hosted by the Cortez Community Gardens. For more details on their program, go online to commongroundcortez.org. And this weekend on Sunday, it's typically celebrated for Mother's Day, May 13th. The State Line Bar and Grill is offering a special dinner for moms. Or order off the regular full menu and let mom know she's special, or at least that she doesn't have to cook or clean up on Sunday. For more information or to make a reservation, which is suggested, call them at 970-677-2649. And all of these happenings are posted on our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page, along with the YouTube replays, weather, and original stories and local posts. To share your event or information, contact us by email. It's dcbnnews@gmail.com or call the station 970-677-4119, and we'll be sure to get your news on air. Thanks for tuning in. News at Noon airs noon Monday through Thursday, and then is rebroadcast at 3 and 6 p.m. on each of those days. The weekday news shows are then replayed throughout the weekend as well. And be sure to check us out on social media. Our Facebook page is DCTV News at Noon. Please like us there and share it with a friend. This has been a production of DCTV for the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA. I'm Kendra Cook. Thank you for watching.